Hi, this is Rick Powell at Nanoprobes. Today we are going to reimagine micro-CT with our new contrast agent, VivoVist. Micro-CT, or microcomputed tomography, is an X-ray imaging technique that's used to visualize bone, the vascular system, tumors, organs, or organ systems. The image is generated by the absorption of X-rays by tissues, organs, or tissue components. Micro-CT uses smaller units and lower energy than clinical computed tomography. It's used to image smaller specimens and small animals, usually mice. Contrast agents are used to increase the signal from specific structures or organs or systems. The image is reconstructed from successive slices taken scanning through the specimen. And here's an example of that, showing the reconstruction of the pelvic region of a mouse, showing the kidneys, the vertebrae, and the major components of the vascular system. Once the image is acquired, it can be rotated or manipulated in 3 dimensions to highlight specific structures or organs. And here's an example of that, also showing the pelvic region of a mouse. As we rotate this around, you can see the vertebrae and the kidneys coming into view at the top of the image. Now, in addition to its use to image animals and biological specimens, micro-CT can also be used to image materials, and applications of that include the analysis of materials for construction or engine components to look at failure modes, and also the analysis of delicate specimens from archaeological excavations, where actually sectioning or dividing up the specimen poses risks. Contrast agents work by absorbing X-rays very strongly at specific energies, and therefore regions that are highlighted or filled or stained with those contrast agent elements show up very brightly in the CT scan. Different contrast elements absorb at different X-ray energies, like iodine, barium, and gold. This provides a method for highlighting different components of specimens and contrasting them and overlaying them to see the relation between them. Here's an example of this, showing the contrast of a tumor which has been slowly loaded over 4 days with a gold nanoparticle X-ray contrast agent. That's Nanoprobes' AuroVist gold nanoparticle X-ray contrast agent. And overlaid with that is an image of the vascular system, which was acquired using a liposomal formulation of iodine circulating through the blood vessels. And those 2 images, the iodine imaging of the blood vessels in red, and the gold nanoparticle imaging of the tumor in green, have been overlaid on the right to show the relation between the blood vessels and the tumor. And thanks to Clark et al. At Duke University for these images. Current challenges with micro-CT with contrast agents are varied. They include discoloration, which is a problem with gold and bismuth agents. Gold is expensive, so it's expensive to acquire enough gold to run large or diverse experiments. Viscosity can limit concentration. It's a particular problem with many iodine formulations. The injection volume required to administer sufficient contrast agent may be too high and pose a danger to the specimens or to the animals. Some have too short a half-life to allow detailed, high-resolution imaging of specific structures, or an investigation of what happens over time within systems or organs. Liver and spleen loading can lead to toxicity. So what's a solution to these problems? One solution is alkaline earth metal nanoparticles, and that's where our new contrast agent VivoVist comes in. VivoVist is a new contrast agent from Nanoprobes that provides higher contrast than competing contrast agents at a lower price that makes imaging in rats and larger animals affordable. Provides better performance in many aspects than competing contrast agents, and has several superior properties that extend its applications and can enable new experiments. What's VivoVist used for? Well, primarily X-ray micro-CT small animal imaging, where it's used for preclinical research to image the vascular system. You can use it to image obstructions or changes within the vascular system over time. It has a long blood half-life of 14 hours. That allows it to accumulate efficiently in tumors and allow good vascular imaging and tumor imaging, and can be used for many other preclinical research applications that include space filling and the study of other structures and organs. One thing to note is that it's not approved for use in people, so it can't be used for human radiological investigations or for diagnoses. So again, none of the materials we're going to discuss today have been approved for human clinical use. Here's another example, again showing the pelvic region and chest of a mouse. Again, clearly see the vertebrae at the top and the kidneys highlighted and contrasted using VivoVist. And very clear, very high resolution, very high contrast imaging of even quite fine vascular structures. How's VivoVist used? Well, it can be imaged with micro-CT scanners, mammography units, or cabinet X-ray units. VivoVist is supplied in 0.25 milliliter units of a non-viscous solution that contains 75 milligrams of the contrast element. That's 300 milligrams per mil, which is highly concentrated and provides very high contrast. It's usually administered systemically by injection into the tail vein of a mouse or any of the other convenient administration sites on larger animals like rats. But it can also be used for local injections into organs or tumors for specific imaging of those systems. Again, here we are looking at, again, kidneys, vascular system, and bone contrasted and highlighted. Who would use VivoVist? Mostly core imaging laboratories and individual researchers in any of the fields that we've discussed. That would include radiation oncology, radiation physics, any kind of biological imaging, nuclear and CT imaging, cellular biophysics, cellular imaging, and biomedical engineering. So a wide range of customers. Let's get to some of the features and advantages of VivoVist. First, provides approximately 3 or 4 times the contrast of many other micro-CT contrast agents. Just 50 milligrams a mil in the circulatory system, 5%, provides more than 3,500 Hounsfield units and at an initial blood concentration that's more than 3.5 times that of bone, which is 1,000 Hounsfield units. It has a long blood half-life of 14 hours, and it comes at the lowest price of any commercially available contrast agent for micro-CT, just 1/3 of some competing contrast agents. It has very low toxicity, safe intravenously to 4 grams per kilogram of body weight, and can be used even up to 8 grams per kilogram of body weight. Provides no skin discoloration. It's a non-colored formulation, so there's no cosmetic impact. It's also, because it's non-viscous, has low osmolality, it's easy to inject into the mouse tail vein, and can be used with typical injection volumes of 0.08 to 0.25 milliliters. Because of its low price and high concentration and easy administration, it also provides affordable imaging in rats and larger animals. To keep the images coming, here's another image of the vascular system, again showing the fine structure and the features that can be illustrated and highlighted. using VivoVist. And here's a more detailed cost comparison showing the cost per mouse for good contrast imaging. For most applications, you can get very good contrast at 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. And the cost for a 25-gram mouse for that can be just $28, based on the retail price of VivoVist if you buy the 25-pack multi-pack packaging. Provides, as you can see, the longest blood half-life out of this selection of contrast agents and the highest initial concentration, which means that for the same injection volume you'll achieve a higher contrast within the specimen, and that provides a higher maximum contrast. And moving on to super contrast, 3 grams per kilogram body weight, and at that level of contrast, the injection volumes required for some of the other contrast agents are actually too high for safe administration to mice, as you can see here. And finally, just 2 vials of VivoVist, which retail for $151, will provide very good contrast at 0.454 grams per kilogram in a 250 gram rat. And again, here's the comparison between another agent and VivoVist for rat imaging, showing prices and concentrations. Some validation from some of our users who've tested this material. UCL Imaging Core tells us it's better than Fenestra, and the Yale Imaging Core says it provides good imaging, reasonable cost for rat imaging, no lower cost than Exotron, better than Fenestra. Duke University tells us it's useful for tumor imaging, and the University of Connecticut Health Center maintains that it's useful also for bone vessel imaging, live animal kidney, and general vascular imaging. For more information, please visit our website and request your free sample, $125 value. Go to our homepage, www.nanoprobes.com, and click on the link to VivoVist and fill out our free sample request form to get your free sample. If you have any questions or would like to know more information, you can contact our customer service at nano.sales@nanoprobes.com. And if you have technical questions, email them to our technical support address, which is tech@nanoprobes.com. And finally, here's the ordering information and catalog numbers for VivoVist. The general catalog number is 1301. And you can see a listing of all our products at nanoprobes.com/products. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Please check out our channel and see some of our other presentations and learn about some of our other imaging, detection, and gold nanoparticle and other nanoparticle labeling and visualization products. Thanks again. This is Rick Powell from Nanoprobes. Have a good day.